Hi there. On today's episode, we find out who the real Mickey is. The one on the inside. We review Mickey 17. I'm Mickey 3.
Mickey 4.
And now Mickey 5.
This is straight to POD. Okay, so before we get into um the Mickey movie, the Mickey Mouse movie, the Mickey movie, I wanted to talk about Last Breath with Woody Harrelson because I love Woody Harrelson. And I just wanted to give it 5 minutes, just like a quick 5 minute review. Eddie, we watched it together. I know, Chris, you skipped it because you didn't think it was gonna be very good. But Eddie, what are your thoughts?
Well, I always enjoy based on true stories or based on true event movies. Um, it's very, I think it's you're trying to give Hollywood the best, the benefit of the doubt when it comes to creating a story outside of the actual story. To keep audience interested, or else it'd just be a documentary. Um, uh, but I enjoyed it. I think they could have done better with the very real, scary abyss that is the ocean. I feel like they kind of rushed through it. I feel like they could have played a little bit more into that. But overall, just terrifying and just awesome of like the world we live in and what people need to do to keep it functioning. Um, I don't know if I'd be able to do this job. I champion myself of like, yeah, I'll do anything. Just I need a paycheck, but this is like I
This
will not
is
be I will not be unemployed. I will find a job, anything. And I've had
I
quite
think
a quite a bit of jobs, but this
I
is
think these
just
type of jobs,
terrifying.
it's like you do like one of these a year, and then that's pretty much all. You make them enough money, they don't have to work.
I don't have just
So
I mean
just think
the
about
ocean.
that.
I mean, still the ocean scares the shit out of me. So Um, yeah, I don't know, but the movie was well paced. Um, the actors, right, for their archetypes are what they are. Um, I didn't necessarily feel like they phoned it in, but I feel like the appropriate individuals got the appropriate roles, and they did fine. Um, but overall, it was enjoyable. Like I said, it's based on true events, and it actually happened to
It's
this
actually a
guy.
remake of the documentary.
Yeah.
They didn't even
Um,
change the name.
they did.
No, they did not. It's
Oh,
the
they just kept
documentary is
everything
called
the
Last
same.
Breath as well.
Last, just a cash grab. But when you realize that it's outside of the movie that actually happened, it gives another lenience to it. So I'd give it its just due. Definitely go watch it. It's only an hour and a half, and it's relatively good paced. So if you want to go watch a good suspenseful movie, just definitely go watch it. What about you, Charlie?
yeah, I like that. I think the real true story factor kind of played into it a lot, into me liking this movie. I think the first like minute of the movie scares the crap out of you, and it just keeps you. And I think that like the first minute of the movie doesn't nothing even happens. It just explains to you like what kind of environment these like commercial divers put themselves in, and I think it just sticks with you for the rest of the movie. And of course, the rest of the movie is like there's stakes and like thrill and um it's like Hollywood up, but you know, just even if it like even if it was a documentary, I think I'd still be like pretty in shock about like everything. Because I mean it's 300. I mean the ocean is scary, right? 300 feet. You're 300 feet into the ocean, like down into the ocean. Um, it's pitch black, and at one point, I mean, I'm just gonna ruin this movie, but at one point, um, the dude is lost. He's on the ocean floor, and he has to get back to like he has to get back to like this base that's like also built on the ocean floor, which in itself is like wild. And it's literally you can see it's literally like 5 feet away from him. But it's so dark down there, he doesn't know which way to walk. So basically, if you just walk in the wrong direction, if you just guess, right? He didn't have a light. I think he was just out of light, or like the light wasn't bright enough to like show him which way to go.
Yeah, he was out.
Yeah, and that was probably the scariest part for me. It was just like that was it. That was freaking ridiculous. Um, I think the stakes with the boat as well also scares the shit out of me. It was a big, huge ship, right, with all the like that we built, and then it's still getting pushed around by like the waves of the ocean. Like if it was, I don't know, like if it didn't weigh like, tons, like if it wasn't just tons of steel or just like, yeah. So, if you're scared of the ocean, watch the movie. It'll probably it's a thriller there. And then like of course it's like the story you're just involved in it as well. So, an hour and a half. So it's a nice hour and a half of just like scary ocean shit. It did bring up a fun conversation where Eddie and I were going back and forth on the ocean, how it scares the crap out of us. And I mentioned that I was scared of that like deep ocean fish that has like a light bulb in front of it.
The angler.
Yeah, ankler. Come to find out, it's about the size of like your palm or like a
Yeah,
quarter.
it's like
Like it's
super
pretty,
small. It's
it's
like
pretty
super
small.
small.
So everything that we've that we've like come to know, aka like finding Nemo and everything.
Those fish are small too. What are you talking
Yeah, those
about?
fish are really small.
Like a
Um,
clownfish? That's tiny.
Yeah,
yeah, a
but
clownfish is like
have you seen the pictures of it like an anglerfish? Like they're always zoomed in. They look huge. Those just look huge. Like you imagine they're just like, they're gonna tear your hand off, but they're really small, teeny tiny.
Tear your hand off. Why are you down in the deepest part of the ocean?
and why is everything mutated down there?
Why are they up
Um,
here? Why are they up here? That's the question.
that is
Global
a mystery
warming
in
or
itself.
mining.
It's 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 the world is ending,
Is the
which
real
is a perfect
question.
segue to
We didn't
this.
know these things existed. We didn't know these things existed because there was no need to know that they existed. And
What?
now,
James Cameron goes down there all the time to look at them or whatever he does
Wait,
down
you're talking
there.
about the fish, or you're talking about like
like,
the last
yeah,
breath structures?
no, the fish.
Oh,
Yeah, the structures is crazy. I don't know how we. I don't know who's like, I'm gonna build something here. Yeah, let's do it.
Well, they do it
Um,
for like mining oil and
yeah,
stuff.
actually,
Like,
the
yeah,
movie
but
was
how?
based.
But
The
there,
movie was
it's
like,
there.
we gotta fix this, or there's gonna be a lot of homes without like heat this winter, right?
mm,
I'm like, that's pretty high stakes, and that's a hell of a
And
job to do for like a
it's
lot of
down
people.
there. That's the thing. Like
Yeah, it's a hell of a job to do for a lot of
it's
people that just
down
kind of
there.
that just like turn, a dial and then heat comes into, your home. So pretty crazy. Chris, you should watch it.
mm.
Um, but yeah. But if you if you need something to watch, you're scared of the ocean.
Definitely go watch it.
Yeah, go watch
It'll-
it. Cool. But let's get into Mickey 17. Chris, take it away.
Mickey 17, known as Expendable, goes on a dangerous journey to colonize an ice planet. And that has to be like one of the shortest synopsises we've done. It's like
Funny.
nothing.
Yeah, it
I
doesn't give us
mean, I
anything.
guess there isn't that much for this movie,
Not really,
but
no.
yeah. This film was directed by Bong Joon-ho, who did Parasite and Snowpiercer. This film starred Robert Pattinson, Naomi Aki, and Mark Ruffalo.
Thanks, Chris. Eddie, what are your crazy thoughts about this?
Uh, the movie, man, the movie. I know it's like 2 hours long, 2.5 hours long, or whatever. But I mean, I kind of felt it. I don't know about you all, but I felt the time run on this one. I feel like they try to make it funny. Um, there was definitely funny moments in this movie.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't think I don't think the comedic relief was there where they thought it was gonna be. I think the writing, for the most part, wasn't atrocious, but it was just like very logical, I guess. I will say, I mean, I am not a fan of Robert Pattinson at all by any stretch of the imagination. But you know what? His performance here, I enjoyed it. His performance of the various Mickeys and how they're portrayed. I think that does very well. He does very well. It's believable. Um, and I actually, I actually were like, this is two different people. Um, so I enjoyed that very well. Other supporting roles didn't really make sense. I didn't really understand Mark Ruffalo's character. Um, I get what they were going for. It felt very 90s, like a 90s over the top type of scenario. Um, I don't know if either of you watched Double Dragon, but it felt like that. I
Hmm.
felt very pushed. When it didn't need to be. He could have been a perfect villain. Um, which I feel like everybody who's not Mickey in this movie is a villain. Even the people who are helping Mickey, they're all bad people. Um, I don't care what
Wait,
you all
explain the
believe.
double dragon thing, because it's been 20 years since I've seen Double Dragon.
It just feels like it's cartoony. Like he's like again, I don't know if it was meant to be like a funny thing where it's like they constantly do side conversations and we could hear them, which means they could hear them, right? So it's like you want to be over the top, but then it's like, am I doing enough? And no, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. Yeah, you're a big man. Doing big man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I am, the person in charge. Like it just felt like I don't know if that was the purpose of it, but it just felt very like that, like cartoonish.
I
I
feel like
don't
that has
his
to be the point of his character.
yeah. Maybe I
You
just the
think
delivery
that was
didn't
like those are normal like quirks
no,
or
no, but
whatever?
I just don't think that the delivery was did what it was supposed to. The
Hmm.
whole like veneer aspect as well. This guy couldn't speak. Like he had this weird lisp because of his veneers. And again, I don't know if that was a choice or if that was part of the character itself. It just felt like he was a cartoon inside what should have felt like a real life situation. And if that was the case, that's fine. I just feel like it just wasn't delivered very well, specifically for the for the character. Because the wife seems, I mean, the wife was fine. The wife of Mark Ruffalo is fine, and the way she's portrayed and what her shtick is. Um, the other scientists seem fairly okay. Like their comical stuff is was pretty okay. It wasn't the best, but compared to like the Mark Ruffalo aspect, it just didn't. It felt flat to me. Um, but everybody's performances was on point. I don't feel like nobody phoned this in. I feel like they all played their part, and as far as acting goes, they did their job. Um, but again, overall, the story for me just very long. I don't know how I feel about the ending. I guess we'll get to it in spoilers, but I'll see get your guys' thoughts because I'm not even in the middle. I'm not sure where this would go to. Chris, what about you?
Yeah, I thought this was good, not great. It's like very, like you said, like very over the top. All that, a lot of the acting was just like wacky, very wacky and stuff. Like even, I guess it's like just like the absurdist nature of this whole thing. Like, oh yeah, you're you're essentially going to be killed and cloned for our experiments and for the betterment of mankind. And it's very out there with that. Like even like the scientists are like, "Oh yeah, just breathe in the air. It's fine. Deep breath." Or like one of the other scenes that was in the trailer was like he's just out in the taking in the solar rays and
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
like, yeah, this let us know when your eyes start popping and you're spitting up blood. It's for science. But yeah, I feel like the Mark Ruffalo character kind of fit into that. Just like, like centric like billionaire, or what was he, a congressman he wanted to be. But yeah, it was a strange movie. I don't know. I kind of like the bug guys. They're kind of cute at the end, like the
Yeah,
baby
yeah.
ones. And yeah, I don't know. This it's just all right. I don't know. What about you, Charlie?
I kind of I overall like this movie. Um, I thought the kookiness was like on purpose, including Mark Ruffalo and including like um the scientists that were straightforward but not really straightforward and the side talk and everything. I think that was like I feel like that was on purpose and it kind of maybe Mark Ruffalo was the one character that stood out among all the rest of it. Um, but despite that, I mean, I love Mark Ruffalo character. I thought he did great. The one part that got me was when what did he say? He said he was talking to the court and he's like, "Well, first I'd like to say thank you for extending an invitation." And the judge was like, "You were subpoenaed." That was like the best. That I cracked me up. I cracked up in the whole damn theater. There was only two people there, so it doesn't matter. Um, but his character overall, like I liked it a lot, and I liked Robert's character as Mickey. I thought I don't know the end felt kind of like that was like a drag. The end of it kind of like just dragged along. I feel like we got there. We the movie essentially ended and it just kept going, and then it tried to fit in like a message at the end that I did not get. So yeah, and I feel like there was like a couple of storylines that I was just like, where is this coming from, and why is this a thing? But yeah, but it was like it was solid. It was a solid movie. I wish there was like a couple more deaths because I feel like it was just like the same kind of scenes they were showing where he was just kind of in that tube and like coughing and coughing up blood and there's like he's got like rash on his skin and stuff like that. So um yeah, you definitely thought he was gonna get run over, like stampede by something. But no, that just kind of came at the end. So overall, yeah, it was solid. A couple of things like I felt the length of it definitely at the end more. Should we hop into spoilers? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spoilers for Mickey 17. This is your final warning.
Yeah, I was expecting more deaths as well that weren't just them making the poison for the bug to kill the bug
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Like, I think most of that were just that, them like perfecting the the virus.
Yeah.
So
Everyone's kind of a everyone's like a dick to him. And you would think in like an environment as harsh as that, and he's the one like sacrificing his body, everyone would be kind of like a little more grateful. But um I guess that's not
eh.
the setup here.
I mean, it seems like he's the only one who does any work other than maybe the scientist. Because they don't really show what anyone else does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Stephen
like nobody
Yoon.
does anything.
Yeah, like Stephen Yoon's character, like he's definitely a dick in this. Like he's like, oh, he's his friend, but he just gets him into all this shit, like
No,
making him start
Patsy.
a
This man's is Patsy.
yeah, what business? Macaroon?
Macaroons. Ugh. That was your first mistake.
Yeah.
Wasn't macaroon spelled wrong too on his t-shirt?
Maybe that's the company name. Yeah,
I thought they were going to yeah, go more into detail with the deaths. It's like the movie starts with 17 and then it works its way back to get to the beginning of the movie, which is fine. But throughout the movie, I had a hard time trying to figure out the timeline because he said, thanks to Mickey 16, we could have done this, and immediately goes to 17. But between 16 and 17, it feels like it's a long time in between. And they don't really give us like any between 1 and like 12, they don't really give us any of the insights. They're referenced and they're mentioned, but we don't get to see like a lot of it. I feel from between like most of the deaths in the what they show between 12 and 17 are accounted for. Um,
Well, I guess
because we
after they get the virus, he doesn't really need to die immediately, you know, like
Yeah.
the ones that they were testing on him.
We just give him like the shitty jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, the other thing is like they're trying to again, this goes back to like the comedic stuff. Like I get like when he's out in space, it's 2054. You're already space traveling. Did you really need to sacrifice this person to know what UV rays do to you?
I
Like
think it was more like
I I think it's understood
the amount of
what
data.
happens. A date of what? That you
I don't
die?
know.
like like it didn't make sense to be like, oh, we put you out there under false pretenses, ha ha ha. But we're gonna let you hit the UV rays and just explain everything that's going on. Like you're already space traveling. It's 2054. We know the effects now. It's not even in the future. Do we really need data on this? Like, don't walk out in the middle of space with gamma rays out there. You know what I'm saying? And I get it's
I
supposed to be
mean,
funny, but that just doesn't. It doesn't. I was like, what's the? I was like, okay, now
I
you're
feel
just
like the point is
torturing
they're
this
just
kid.
bored.
Well, that was the thing. It was
Like
like they
it's
made
like
it.
a 4 year journey to get there. I don't know, I feel like it's like, oh yeah, why don't we send this guy? He responds like the next day. Who cares?
Yeah,
And then we
yeah.
get some data on it.
Yeah. It just made it. Well, it just made it seem like Charlie said earlier, like this, or I think it was Chris. Is just like nobody respects this person, and it's just
Hmm.
they're just throwing them around. But it doesn't make me feel for the guy. It just makes me believe that everyone in this universe, in this movie universe, is just an asshole. It'll be an asshole. Like he like we have no bearing of that Mickey is a good guy. We just know that he's in a bind, right? He owes a lot of money that's not his fault. He's clearly just being taken advantage of, so he has to get off the planet, and that's it. That's all we have. For all we know, he could also be an asshole, but we're taking the premise that he's a good guy. Um, and then that's it. And then everybody else in this entire world is an asshole. His best friend is an asshole. The scientists are assholes. Mark Ruffalo's
Not the
congressman is an
lady with the
asshole.
glasses. She's nice.
Okay, yeah. And it takes 3/4 of the movie to realize that. I understand there's like hints of like she's looking at him. I'm like, oh, maybe this is a love interest. It's not. It's pure platonic. It's purely platonic. And that's fine. But it takes like 3/4 of the movie to be like, yeah, girl, stand up, say something. Why is everybody just a dick? And on dick and a dick for like no apparent reason. Like the fun like one of the funniest parts of this is that they he's literally being copied, right? And they and the direction of the movie is that he's being printed as if you were to print something, and it does printer things. It like jiggles and like it pulls in the person, like it pulls in like if it would be printing like a paper, and then it continues to print like it
Prints
does
like
all
a
these same
19
things.
like a 90s printer or
Yeah,
like an
like a
early
90s
Hmm.
2000s
printer.
printer.
It's funny, but when he's being printed, again, he prints every 20 hours. It's gonna happen. why is the conveyor belt to catch him not just there? Like why what is why are you moving that? For what reason would you need to move that? Like,
You know, it's just
you know
in
what
the
I'm saying?
way for
It's just it's and
science
then
In
stuff,
the
you
way
and
for
know?
apparently
what?
like everybody's just out of it. You have a gaggle of scientists, but they're like teenagers, so they're constantly on their phone, not doing their job, and just like you know what I'm saying. So like it
I don't
just
think they're
it's
scientists. I think they're just like technicians.
intern whatever. I
Yeah,
guess
like
you're
what
right
more
because
do
a
you have
lot
to
of them
do
were young.
besides
A
just
lot of
like
them were young.
press a
Yeah.
button, make sure he doesn't
Yeah, press a
fall?
button. So you know they're all dicks. You know they're all just being dicks. To like really hard, like they're really trying to be dicks, and you know it's just like, all right, you know, and I understand that they tried to make it seem like he's being punished because they give a very very sad background story of Mickey of his mom getting in a car crash. They're driving home from something and he's like, let me sit in the front seat because I'm big enough. And mom's like, okay. And he pushes what I assume is the start button for the car. Um, it's just a red button. And then he pushes it and the car flips, like it either shuts off or gets into parking or something. And he essentially kills his mom and he believes that all his bad luck and everything he's doing is just karma for him directly killing his mom. Um
I think it was like just a coincidence when he pressed the button and
Well, yeah, that's what the Mickey 18 said
yeah.
by the at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, by the end. But what I'm saying is like that story that we're given, um, I guess doesn't it doesn't make me feel bad for Mickey. Like I understand he did something shitty, but that happening doesn't equate to all the everybody being an asshole. Like he is like the lightning rod for everybody just like doing whatever the hell they want to this guy. Um
I mean, his role was literally expendable. So I feel like people just they're like, yeah, you're
yeah, but he's
garbage
he's
kind of
expendable
thing.
to he's expendable to his job, not to my peers. Like you don't have to be a dick to me because my job is an expendable. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he didn't
Maybe
go out of
because
his
you're
way to make
expendable, I
people's
can be a
yeah.
dick to
I
you.
mean,
I
he didn't go
mean,
out of his way to
essentially,
be a
yeah.
dick. He wasn't beaten to a point where he has like this bad outlook in life. If anything, he appreciated more. He was more like sympathetic and everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nothing in this character would make it seem that he would warrant this type of abuse because he's still a human being. Like, his job is to be expendable, but when everybody's eating in the lunchroom, we are all in the same level. So, like, you're going out of your way to be a dick to me. Like, it just seemed like it was over the top and it didn't make me feel bad for the guy. It just made me feel angry at everybody else, like you know, and especially for Mark Ruffalo's character, he kept having his food. At some point, this man wasn't even eating anything. You would think an expendable needs to be healthy. This man's rations for food was cut like four times. It's like half that food and half another food. And I was like, man, there's nothing left. What's half of a half? It's just nothing. Um, yeah. So that's one of I guess the quarrels that I had. What did you think about the love triangle that was going on?
Um,
Between who and who? Like the two Mickeys and Nasha, or
The
Nasha,
other the
Kai,
other
Nasha,
couple, yeah,
Kai,
the
and
other
Mickey.
couple, the
yeah.
couple between himself. Like there was just a lot of I also I there
I
was a
thought
lot of
I thought
focus on
Nasha was
sex.
I thought Nasha was pretty selfish to be like Mickey 17 and 18 are mine. Like you want both?
I mean,
There's two
they're
of
the
them.
same
Share.
person,
But
right?
they weren't, were they?
I mean, they have the same memories.
But
So
they don't, do they?
would they even want to be with that other person?
Yeah,
Because
but
Well,
they
they
have
were
they
different
trying
the
to.
they have
memories
different
are
like
of her. They love her, Nasha.
Yeah, but these are new memories now, Chris.
What?
The new
New
memory of
memories? They're not
yes,
new. They're the same memories. Each time
I
there's a
know,
clone, it's the same
but
memories.
when they're when all three of them are together, that's a new memory that will forever be with you of
Hmm.
you and the girl that you love. And
Yeah.
it's not even like the kind you. The Mickey 18 was just like Batman. Like he was just like angry and like it was like they took away the
The
like
angsty.
when he was reborn, the sympathy thing was like taken away or something. Like he was just evil Mickey. Um, which I don't know if you all could do that, but I was thinking about that. If there was another me, would I be able to have
Don't
sex
start this damn
with me,
conversation.
like with me, like in the room or at the same time? You know, it's like it is me, but it is another body. You know, so
I
that
don't know.
that I don't
Would you do
know.
it? Would you do it? Would
With
you have a three?
yourself?
Would you have a threesome with yourself?
I mean, because think about it, in yourself, right? In yourself, when you masturbate, you are touching yourself. So if you reach out
I mean, this is
and touch the other person,
you
you're
said they
still
were different.
touching
You said they
yourself.
were different.
I
So,
mean I know, but you're still yourself though. You know what I mean? And according to you, Chris, it's all the same memories.
oh, now it's all the same. Now it's the
I'm
same, you
just saying.
know? When
You
you want to
know,
do yourself, it's all the
so
same. But
I will give
before,
it
no.
I will give it to Nisha though. She does make a good point. I was all like, oh, I don't want to. It's like, well, you want both of us? It's like you're saying if there was two of me, you want two of me. I was like, yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. So like, either man up and do this, or like, let your what's the Superman bad person Bizarro, go nuts on your girl. Um,
That's all right. You got the other girl.
well, the other thing is like the other girl clearly was interested in because there's like a little scene before, but she's I guess polyamorous or whatever because she has a girlfriend, which
No, no, her girlfriend
ends up
died.
dying. Yeah,
Yeah,
like she
in
ends
Does
up
the
she
ice
like
come
cube.
back? And how does she come back?
Cloning?
they printed her maybe.
With no memories?
I don't know. Yeah,
I was confused
I,
by that too. I was like,
I
wait,
was.
was that the same person? I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but I'm pretty sure it was the same person.
Was this even real?
What?
Did we
Well,
even
well,
watch the movie?
think
Um,
about it. Like he has a. Well, before we get to that, she has a girlfriend. She's polyamorous because she wants to do Mickey. Her girlfriend dies like 5 minutes after. Goes into her room and is trying to sleep with Mickey. So I don't know.
What? 5 minutes later? What are you talking about? That's like a different day or whatever.
Is it?
Yeah,
yeah, it's like
that's
a whole like
yeah.
24 hours, 20 to
Because
24 hours later.
he goes back to the ship after, and that's when Mark Ruffalo like yells at him. So
Okay,
that's like
24 hours
after.
after your girl dies, you're already moving on. I'm just saying,
I don't
like,
think it's 24 hours. I think it's
Yeah, I
longer
don't.
than that.
Yeah, because like you see him like going back multiple times to the outside after that scene.
seeing,
Because like
no, because
he can't leave, whatever.
doesn't he get invited up?
I
No,
think
because he like
that's way after.
she dies, he gets in trouble, and then he has like the 14-hour days, 7 days a week,
Hmm.
where he has to collect a specimen of like the little creepers
Yeah.
in order for him to like get back to full rations of food or something like that.
Oh, I didn't have that timeline at all.
Were you watching the movie?
He gets
Literally
saved.
narrated.
He gets saved. He walks back to the camp and gets in the ship, and then he gets cleaned up and he goes into his room where he meets
No,
Mickey 18.
that's a different. He doesn't fall into the pit until later. Because after she dies, they go back to the ship. All of them go back to the ship, and that's when Mark Ruffalo like punishes him by making him work a bunch of hours, and he gets like the minus rations again after that. He doesn't fall until later in the movie, or later in the after that part.
No,
What do you mean?
Essentially, a
Yes.
time has passed,
What
is the
no,
point.
do you mean no? Yes.
no.
I'm confused as
What do
to
you
how
mean?
you're
I think
confused.
you're messing up the timeline here.
I don't think so. She dies, they go back.
Yeah, they
But
all go
he already know.
back.
But he already knows Mickey's 18 is already there.
No, Mickey 18
No,
doesn't
that's
come back
Mickey
until he
18.
falls down in
Mickey
the
18 doesn't even
pit.
exist at that point.
He doesn't die. He doesn't die at that scene
No,
or
he doesn't.
whatever.
Doesn't die at all.
No, I'm saying like he isn't presumed dead, you know, until later.
No,
You're mixing up the beginning of the movie versus like the middle of
Yeah,
the
you're
movie.
yeah.
And your
What
only
do you mean
complaint is that
no?
this girl
I just
moves
saw
on way
it.
too fast.
no, that's not right. I
Yeah,
know
you're wrong. I know we know.
It's a whole witch and
there's a
mermaid
whole witch
and
and
shit.
other thing. No, I'm gonna clip the movie and I'm gonna send it to you because you guys are wrong.
Please do. Yeah,
I will
go
do
see
this.
it again and tell
I'm
us
gonna do
how
this.
right we are.
Snapchat the movie. Grab a camcorder and record it. But the the part the part that also cracked me up, and I feel like this is like when it comes to like talking about the kookiness of the movie, was like when they're negotiating on which Mickey is gonna be with which girl, and because they're just talking about it like it's just trading cards. Like, all right, well you can have 17, but I'll have 18. It's like, no, I'll have both. Thank you very much. I don't know. That's funny. Um, Late night with Kenneth Marshall was also really funny. It's just like him hosting a TV show about, I don't even know, about himself, or just like interviewing people on the ship. It's just weird. I think I would go crazy a little bit on the ship if I was like working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and eating like stale, whatever, like stale bread or whatever.
Like whatever that, just enough to get you by to
Yeah,
survive.
yeah,
Yeah. Back to like the romance stuff. Like I don't know, I felt like the Nasha stuff was like I wasn't like sold on it until like they show like her like actually being there when he was dying, like going in the tube. Like I feel like that was like, oh, okay, I see like their love or whatever,
yeah.
like she actually
Oh,
cares for him a lot.
yeah.
And it wasn't just like one-sided or a fling kind of thing for her, you know. So I did like that part.
It did solidify a lot that final scene, but they probably should have. I don't know. Maybe put that in the beginning because it was more like I'm in love with her because she's cool too. She's like nice to me.
Yeah, they skipped a lot of the 4 years in space stuff, which definitely kind of like showed what happened in that relationship.
Yeah,
A lot of montages for that.
yeah. So do we think it seemed like? Do we think every Mickey is still the same Mickey if they come out with different attitudes and aggression levels?
I don't think so. I think that was the point of the movie. Well, a point of the movie.
Because if 17 actually died, and it was 18 now, is that still a copy of 17?
I mean, they're all copies of the first guy. They don't copy the clones. They copy the original.
Yeah, but I guess what stuck with me was when they were trying to kill each other, or 18 was trying to kill 17 right in the beginning because they knew having multiples was like
Mhm.
not allowed. And it's like, why do you even want to like I'm you anyway, like just die. And he's like, no, well, I'm me. And when there was one of me, it was fine because it's like I'll come back. But if I die and you continue, now it's like
There's two
that
people. There's
line
two
of
people.
yeah, that line of memories is like gone. And now there's a new line of memories. It's being made.
Well, yeah, you die. Like
You basically
he actually dies. It's just a copy with the last Mickey's memories. So they do die every time.
but don't they upload the new memories?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's the same memories, but it's the body's destroyed.
I don't think new memories are formed.
What? No, I think they are because they had like the head, the memory tracker thing on every
Yeah,
time he died.
but they just gave it up to the point of printing.
Yeah, but they still use the memories from the last clone.
How if he's dead?
What? No, like when he's dying, they upload the memories.
What are you talking about?
Because like
That
whenever
guy
he
was
wears
in
that like
space.
helmet
He's
thing,
dead. What?
that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the
They
helmet
put
thing
the
is
helmet, but
them taking the
upload.
memories.
No, it's uploading the memory from
No,
the.
it's no like it's because they had it on like when he was like getting poisoned, and it's like we need to know. They need to like know how he felt for the
Oh,
next
when she
one.
was talking to the shortest lived Mickey.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, because he had like the red Magneto helmet on.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's uploading the memories.
but when the bodies aren't recoverable or they're destroyed, they can't upload new memory. They're just printing a new body.
Sure, for those ones, but the other ones.
But that's my point. Is like the brick just has the memories up to when he's printed, and that's what they upload to him. He doesn't have memories of between 1 and 17.
Why
Because
doesn't he? He does.
he even says he's all like he even says he's all like Nasha used to tell me that 3 was this and 5 was this, and he doesn't have memories of that. He is being told that he acts different and he is different every time he's printed. He doesn't have memories of any of the prior ones. That is being told to him.
I don't think that's right because then the whole Nasha relationship wouldn't make sense at all. Like why he even cares for her if he has no memories of her.
Well, yeah, he has memories
If
of her
that's
because the he fell in love with her the first day that they were on the ship, and then he started being experimented on. After that, he even says when he fell in love, he's all like, you like out of all the things, whatever, I was able to meet you on this on the first day, and then he started getting experimented. That's why he remembers her because they started saving his memories after the first day after they started to experiment. So up to that point, from my understanding, again, I could be wrong with timelines here. Uh, was that's why he loves her because that's his last and first memory per se of every time because every time he gets printed the brick is on him to upload everything that he knows up to that point, so that's why he knows he's an expendable. He knows what's going on because he knows up to the point up to that point, and then it's a new Mickey from that point on. At least that's from my understanding. I don't think he has memories from his past experiences.
hmm.
At least I thought that was what the
I thought
commentary
he
was.
did, and
That's why he had
that's
the
why
helmet on every time.
17, yeah. I thought that's why 17 didn't want to die.
Because what is the point of giving a clone memories if he's gonna live for 10 minutes?
No, for that one they were grabbing, like you said, they were grabbing information from him on that one. They weren't giving him memories; they were just grabbing him because the ladies told
Well,
him
what
is
information? He doesn't have any.
But that's why he was confused when he for that one specifically. He came out. He's like, "Hey, you're the shortest living Mickey," and he was responding like, "Huh?" Like he wasn't like responding, acknowledging. He was like completely out there. He's like, "Hey, it's gonna be 10 minutes." She's explaining everything to him, and they're just getting data from him because he doesn't even know. They're not uploading anything. They're grabbing information from him in that specific scenario. But if I recall correctly,
But he
there
still had the
wasn't
helmet on.
right to gather information, not to give
Yeah, the
information.
memories.
No,
That's the
I
helmets for
feel
the
like he
memories.
remembers because his hand was cut off in one experiment and he got reprinted again and he looked at his hand. You remember that when he was in
Mm-hmm.
space? His hand got chopped off. And then next time he was reprinted, he immediately looked at his hand and like couldn't believe that it was back.
Okay, yeah. I don't. I thought
I don't
the
know if
whole point
every Mickey has
because
every
again,
other
like
Mickey's memories.
they made it. You know what I'm saying? Like every Mickey that's explained is explained from a third person.
Well, that's because you don't know. I don't know. Maybe you don't know yourself like that.
Well, that's what I thought it was
Not
the commentary
as
on is that like the person who's remembering him isn't it's the prime. It's Mickey Prime. Like Mickey, the soul of Mickey is the one that's but every person that's printed is a different Mickey. Like because we see it. We clearly see two different Mickeys who are out in the world that they're the same body, but they're not the same person. And that Prime Alpha Mickey was the one narrating because he is like in the ether, like he's like what's that Sin City the movie? Like he's just narrating the movie from the perspective of the soul, which they play very much into the philosophical part of this, which I thought they were going to play more into the moral ethical idea of cloning people. But it wasn't really like that. It was just like we make multiple people, and I didn't I didn't necessarily agree with the fact that because the main person was a psychopath that we wouldn't be able to clone. I feel like it's a really one off extreme example of like why they kill multiples.
Oh, because the original creator was a murderer, and his clones
Yeah,
was yeah.
like he was just a
a psychopath.
psychopath, and he was just
Yeah.
like, I'm making multiples of me. I was like, all right, well, this guy was
Well,
gonna be a
yes,
psychopath no matter
yeah.
what. He just happened to have a technology in his head. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, you give a car to a psychopath, he's gonna run people over. Like it's not the technology's fault. Um,
With because he created it, so it's like, well, he's the first. This is the
yeah,
rule.
I guess,
I
yeah,
mean,
I guess,
the whole thing there's like a court hearing or Congress hearing about like, is this ethical, and like what does it mean to do this? Like it's even banned on like Earth beef.
yeah,
Like
which
they
is
were
why they have
saying
to do it
that.
in
Yeah.
space because I guess space
Yeah.
has no morals or ethics. But
Well,
it
I think it
does,
was like, oh, we only if we only have one in space, it'll be okay. Or whatever Mark Ruffalo like convinced them to do it.
yeah. But I did quarrel with the idea of that. Is like, granted, he volunteered under not knowing what the hell he was volunteering for, but he was willing. Like he was like, I am a willing participant in this. But Mickey did help move forward a lot of different things, and I don't think there would be a scenario where they would have moved that much forward without any actual repercussion. Like even landing on the planet, how many people would have to die or like breathe like until they figured that stuff out, or like the poison in the air and stuff if they didn't have like a restart button for somebody. It's like, all right, you're dead, but because we could revive you, it's not like we're able to push the limits of see how far we need to go or get the information that we need because there is no danger of you actually dying, and other people don't need to risk their lives or die because we have you. Like they were able to get vaccines and other stuff, as comical as it was, because he was able to put himself in this position. So ethically and morally, is that still okay, despite the fact that you are human? But if you're volunteering for it to further the goal of like science or whatever, is it still morally and ethically okay to put someone in this position because there's no like danger of them dying?
I don't know if they volunteer, then sure.
Could you say it's like an organ donor, like on your license, somewhere?
Yeah, but I guess when you're dead though, like you're dead, dead.
Yeah, but you're technically dead. Each Mickey is a new Mickey, right?
Yeah, he just the body itself just comes back. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like for people saying the moral ethically in the movie, I'm like, yeah, but the applications, just like
Well, I guess it's
in
like
general.
human testing. Like, do people, do they think that's all right to do horrible testing on
Well, because we have horrible
human?
testing in human history. You know what I'm saying? Like we have documentations of just human testing for horrible, horrible things, of
I mean,
just
that's not
torture,
ethical
it's like
either.
murder. Well, that's what I'm saying. But if the individual volunteers and there's no fear of like actually die, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the goal of this of the nature. That's the nature of the situation. Is it
Hmm.
still morally, ethically okay to do those things in a situation where it lends itself, where there are no ramifications and there isn't, and is it still okay to do those things, or because we as a human race are have evolved so much that shouldn't be the case either way? And again, I don't know if that was one of the points to be raised in the movie, but they did try to make it. They try to give like a religious and a philosophical and a logical standpoint, but they feel like they brushed through it so quickly. It was a Congress hearing, which delivers one of the funniest lines in the entire movie, I think. Mark Ruffalo's there. So like, thank you for inviting me. And everybody's like, you were subpoenaed to be here. We didn't invite you. You were subpoenaed to be here. Um, but right, it gives the religion like, oh, there's one soul, there is only one person. Then the philosophical is like, we shouldn't be able to have multiple people or whatever. And then, the politician is very logical. It's like, I decree this. Only we will have this, but only in space and only, you know, when we're trying to conquer a planet or something. I don't know. Also, was
I
everybody
don't
in
know
this?
because they also blow up the printing machine at the end. So they
Uh,
came to the same conclusion where it was like we don't need this. We're good.
Yeah.
I feel like you would need that in general.
I feel like
Maybe
you just I feel
not
like you
print
need an
humans, but I feel like you
expendable. I
would.
feel like you need an expendable, but you don't call him an expendable.
Well, I just not doesn't it for
Just because
humans. I imagine like,
he would because if they still had the printing machine, he would essentially be able to like push whatever colony they had forward, you know, into like from a colony to a settlement to a city to like or like whatever the settlement to a town to a city much faster than they would if they didn't.
well, I would just imagine for
Yeah,
other
but they would
applications.
be
Yeah,
killing him over and over and over.
yeah. But at that point, you maybe just not treat him like dirt, you know. Like he gets
I
Well,
feel
I
like
still
just
he
them
gets
killing him over and over is treating him like a tool, like not
but I
a
feel like
person. Like that's like the whole thing, right? Like that's why when the other Mickey is trying to kill him in like the lava smelter or whatever thing, he's like, why why don't you just die? It's like, oh, I realized that like we are two people, two different people essentially. Like we have the same memory, but we're we're two. Like if it's like
Maybe
you, when
maybe
I
I'm
die,
just
you go on. I don't go on,
maybe I'm just
technically.
unethical and unmoral and I don't care. And I would
You know,
send
you
him.
can be the expendable then.
I feel like it would be kind of cool. Uh, just because you can't die. I mean, the only way you can die is if no one
You literally
reprints.
die.
Is like the only way you can die is that if nobody prints you again. So if somebody's not there to print you, then you're dead, dead.
I mean, technically, Charlie Prime, once he dies,
But
he's dead. It's just a new guy that they print
I
Yeah,
would
out,
it's
you
just a
come.
know?
new guy.
I would
You
come
don't,
back.
I mean,
Uh,
technically not.
technically, mate. I don't know. That's a good question. Do I come back?
Charlie Prime is gone after that. It's Charlie 1 that after is next.
Well, I feel
Is,
like this is
It's not
is
fair
it
like
to the
Charlie one or
it's
is
not
it
like they
Charlie
put your
two?
brain into the body. So
yeah.
you the first
You're not sharing a
yeah.
brain. You're just two different.
So you die and it's whatever the next copy's turn
Yeah, it's not
to
like you're
die.
sharing live. Like if one person does one thing, you don't automatically understand what's happening to the other. Like I don't think that's how it
Yeah.
works.
No, it's not.
It's
That's
like
why
Prestige.
he has to
Remember the
get his
Prestige?
memories uploaded.
Yeah.
Now
You're thinking about it?
my head it's a pretzel. Oh man.
Sure, sure.
Like it would be me,
The
wouldn't it? Like
body
it
and the
would be.
memories are there, but each time one Mickey dies, in that they don't go on.
Yeah.
So
But I still come
Prime
back.
Mickey is gone.
I feel like we'd have the same conversation we're having now.
No, it's just in a time travel thing. It's like it's well, even in the rules of the movie,
Like wouldn't I
Every Mickey
wouldn't
was
I
unique.
think
It
wouldn't
either
I still
added or
think
like
wouldn't
separated.
I still think I'm me, even
Yeah,
if it's
you'll
like
think
new
you're you,
body?
Yeah.
but it seems like the personality or the mindset of each Nikki was different in its own right. Like
I wonder if that's just like a quirk for cloning, you know, like one has a different personality per round.
I thought it was like the way the memories uploaded,
Hmm.
um, in the way like it's processed leans his either aggressiveness or you know agreeableness or like being timid or shy or like angry or whatever. It just like the formula just changes up every time the memories are uploaded.
What if it's how he comes out of the tube for like the ones that like they don't have a
It
thing
could be,
there?
yeah,
He's the
yeah.
angry one.
It could be like shifts, I don't know, either his brain or like the way the neurons, like, I don't know, in your brain, like, are being shut off. Or it's
there's
just,
something added or missing
or it's just like
because he
different. Yeah.
survived. It almost felt like whatever made Mickey 17 like the sympathetic kind person he was because he didn't die that wasn't uploaded or wasn't like given to the new Mickey because he was still alive.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was more like, the way I took it was like, oh, okay, I guess this is just like two of your different personalities. And
Yeah,
then
because
one is just more present than the other
yeah, because
in the
like I
different
think they said
bodies.
in the other some of the other Mickeys had like more pronounced other personality types as well.
Yeah. Like you're not the same person from the day-to-day basis.
Um,
Like your personality switches up between, I don't know,
yeah, yeah.
work and gym and life and April to March to December.
Well, it also lends. It also like I question what happens if Mickey 17 did die. Would Mickey 18 still have gone through? Because he just seemed like an aggressive person.
Yeah, but the body, like you mentioned, the body was unrecoverable because they assumed that he was eaten. So 18 would still be 18.
That's what I'm saying. So like,
18
was
came
the
out
movie
the
itself just
exactly how 18
would have
would
come
have come
out?
out. Yeah.
So all the things would have still transpired the same way, where he wanted to just kill everybody.
Prob Probably. Maybe. Well, probably not. I think he would have been angry. The only thing that set him off was like 17 told him about the dinner.
Yeah,
And
that's what
it's like,
set him
tell me
off.
you like punched him in the face. I was like, no, I told him thank you for dinner. I was like, you told him thank you for dinner? And then that's
Yeah, but that would have been actual. That would have been Mickey 18, which means he would have reacted in that situation the way Mickey 18 wanted him to react.
yeah.
Or he would have died either way,
Yeah.
right?
I think 17 wanted to live and was perfectly fine because he was like, oh, I don't want to die yet. I need to go see Nasha again. That's why he was like, oh, he just takes the hit of the pain. I don't know if 18 would have done that. 18 probably would have been pissed at the whole thing. I don't know. That's a good question. Now we're just talking about different timelines.
Well, it's just, again, I'm just also confused because at the end of the movie, old girl's girlfriend is back, or maybe it's a new girl who's also just happens to be bald. Maybe she
Yeah,
has a type,
I don't know.
but she's back. But then he has a dream sequence for like 5-7 minutes. What the hell was that dream sequence about?
Well, I
Like
think
I
he's
didn't get
like,
it.
I have nightmares of, I don't know, maybe it's just those people.
I understand that he's like, oh, I have nightmares. I understand, but as far as like a director or a movie, you would you wouldn't just feel, you know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't just like if someone's like, I have nightmares, I was like, all right, cool, but at least if you're showing us the nightmares, it'll pertain to something to the movie. It doesn't make any sense. Like why show her and then print him and then the hands are all just covered in blood?
Well, that's because she slit her wrist.
I thought his hands were covered in blood.
No.
Those are her hands.
Okay. I don't know. It felt weird. It's like push the button and then he went into a dream sequence and then he pushed the button anyway, which is fine. But I don't understand the girlfriend part. I don't know. I don't know. The ending just seemed like it dragged.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get the sauce thing. The salsa thing.
I think it was just like a
She just wanted
commentary
sauce.
on consumerism of like you're all here trying to populate a new planet, but you're still trying to sell product.
Or it's
Like it
like,
felt
we eat this shitty food. We need sauce to make it better.
to make it better. Yeah, but she
Yeah.
was like obsessed with it. It felt very
It just felt like
Hunger
a
Gamey.
storyline thing that I was like, I don't know where's this going.
It felt very Hunger Games, where like they were obviously District 1 and everybody else was just like District 14 or whatever. Because everybody got crap. Everybody was treated like crap. Like then nobody got actual substance, but there was actual substance on the ship. Like there was food, and everybody had to abstain from sex, but they were having plenty of sex. Like like that. I didn't understand. Like the goal was to not have sex until we reach the planet, and then everybody's just gonna have a giant orgy when we get to the planet.
Yeah. It was like, we don't have enough food for everyone to have sex because it burns too many calories, was essentially the
Yeah,
pitch for them.
but the stuff that we're doing burns a lot of calories. There's a lot of people walking and in heat, and like making stuff. I was just I didn't understand it. I thought at some point they were gonna resource mines. They cut a rock. They cut a rock in half, and it was just dark inside. It didn't like have any. I didn't
They
think
had
it
the
had any
babies.
value. I know, but they made it seem like this is what we're gonna mine, and this is like really valuable. I'm like, I don't think it is. I'm like, how are you proving this? Can you
Well, I
like?
think it was just like, oh, this is a monument to our new civilization, and we'll have all our names on here, kind of thing. At least that's what he said it was going to be.
I don't know. I like the little like termite things or whatever they were. Um, the indigenous species to this world. There was just a lot of them, but like again, I didn't understand. Like they knew, but they didn't know. They were like mysterious, but they turned out to just be bluffing the entire time. So like, I don't know what the deal. I thought they were psychic, but they're not.
Yeah, they speak
I,
with
I,
whatever their like language.
yeah, but at the end when they're having the conversation, I so like the thing calls Mickey by a name, and he's like, "How do you know my name?" And he's like, "Don't worry about it." I was like, "Okay, mysterious." And they make him all mysterious, like, "Oh, we're powerful, we're not powerful." At the end, it's like, "Would our brains really explode to do this?" And I'm like, "No, not really. We're just lying." Called our bluff though. You didn't call our bluff though, so it's like, okay. That whole end scene with like the troops and the rocket launchers, I was just like, that doesn't seem like I feel like they scrambled for this ending to like
Yeah,
make sure
like
everybody died,
yeah. I mean, they had like the gas things on them. How come it didn't it exploded? How come it didn't like
cause everybody to have
kill
nerve
everyone?
Yeah,
Yeah, kill everyone.
I don't
I was
know.
confused about that part. Um, Going into the ending when everything was said and done, and Mickey was having like the narration of like, like I could like myself. I could be happy. I don't have to feel guilty. Like, oh, was there like a message to this movie? I didn't get that. That's what
Yeah, it was
confused
the
me.
whole with his mom, right?
Yeah,
And
but
like
like
how
for the
we talked
people,
about it.
for the people, for me, for the
What?
viewers,
What do you mean?
like what was the message for like what was the message of the movie? Don't feel
I
guilty
don't.
about killing your mom. Like I don't.
I don't think
That's
there's a
It's okay to be
moral.
happy? I don't think
It's
yeah, I don't think
okay.
there's a
Yeah, it's okay to be
moral.
happy,
I don't
or
know. I
don't
don't
be
know. You
afraid
tell
of
me.
death. I don't think there was like a.
Yeah, I don't think
I don't
there
think
was
there's an
I
that.
don't know. I
audience
just feel
point.
like
Did
it.
you
The
need
way
one?
he was
Yeah,
narrating the end of it, it just seemed like, oh, this is like something to take away from this movie, which was not set
Hmm.
up by, which was not set up by the movie at all. It was just like, oh, I'm just gonna throw this like kind of deep message in there, and that's how we're gonna end it.
I didn't get the deep message
Yeah.
at all. Yeah,
I didn't get
no.
it either. I didn't get it
I don't
either.
think there was a message for the audience.
I think you're just
I think there might have been a
looking
message
for
for like
one.
within the movie, but I don't think there was like a message like to the world. Yeah, I don't think there
Yeah.
was that.
I think there was,
Um,
and I think it failed to hit
But
it.
you didn't get it?
No, not at
if
all.
there was one, I don't even know what. I mean, what would have been like?
Now you know my problems.
Live your life to the fullest because
Now you know
Yeah, I
you don't
guess
get a
you know what I'm
copy.
going through. Yeah.
you're going through a thing that's not in the movie.
All right,
um,
we're gonna ask the
Yeah,
director.
please.
Yeah.
Once when Eddie does his rewatch, when he gets to that one scene that was obviously
it had to be a day
days
at most.
later.
It had to be a day at most. It couldn't have been more than a day. I still stand by it. The love of your life, who you say is love of your life, got crushed, and you're immediately trying to bang
You don't
someone
know that
else.
was the love of her life.
Yeah.
All
What?
right, well, one of the love of our lives. I don't know.
Now you're just assuming things.
Yeah, there's.
Well, she came
Now you're
back at
just
the end of the movie.
now
Why
you're
did
just
she come back if she wasn't that
Did she
important?
come back?
Who's that chick then? That looked
I don't
very
know.
similar to the chick that died. Like, I'm just saying, if she wasn't that important, why even reference? Why even reference the type of character she was at the end of the movie? So this girl has a type now. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like this, just it wasn't needed. Was she like a stagehand and she's just like, I'm just gonna sit next to her and they're like, fuck it, just film it? Like was that like a outtake that wasn't supposed to happen? I don't understand. I don't know.
Yeah,
Bro, oh
that was
again,
confusing. I didn't get that. I didn't
yeah, I don't
understand
get that
if
either.
that was the same character.
so yeah, I don't know. I was gonna do
Because
the printer again.
in when Mickey does the like signs up for the program, he has to like wear a suit and get his memory put in the brick.
Yeah, he has to
So
put like
not
all this
everyone
stuff.
has this, assumably.
Unless she was also an expert. No, so it would be one expendable per ship. I don't know. Maybe we're looking into way too much into this. It just seems weird because they focused on it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like there's editing, there's directing, there's whole scenes that are happening where they're purposely putting this in there. Um, so I don't know. Um, Also, Nisha has some really strong teeth because that thing is at minimum 5 pounds, and she held on to that for like 10 minutes as everybody's talking and doing all this stuff. I don't think. I mean, that's a lot of just neck strength
You
to be
don't do two
holding
pull-ups?
that. No, I don't do that. And then more so when I'm trying to like also holding the teeth and like doing taekwondo to get somebody in a chokehold with my legs.
That was cool.
Uh, yeah, I mean, but while still holding this thing in my mouth.
It's a baby, you know?
Okay,
How much
again,
does it weigh?
I don't.
Doesn't weigh that much. Come
I
on.
don't.
Come
I
on.
mean, you try it. You try. Okay, I get a rope. Put a pound, just 1 pound, in your teeth with rope. Not even that length. Just like try to hold it. Just put it, and I guarantee there's no way. There's no way you're gonna last 10 minutes. It's just
Hmm.
it's all teeth. It's all gums. You know, it's like there's not even muscle in there. I don't know. Whatever.
I
Sure.
think that would hurt my teeth after a little bit.
She was speaking like nothing. Then she ran out there, like it's the adrenaline that's running in her body. Um. Also, screw this manatee or whatever. It's not like, well, you killed one of ours, so you got to kill one of yours. It's only fair. I was like, who are you? It turns out that you were bluffing anyway. Why you gotta kill one of ours? I didn't kill one of yours. It just happened to die.
Very mob boss of him.
What?
Yeah, it's like
They
you have to kill somebody. Why? Because it's fair. All right.
what
All
are you
right. And
talking
then it
about?
turns out he was
They
just
literally
bluffing.
shot that one to death, the baby to death.
Yeah, I know, but they made it seem like again, when he's all like, "Oh, if you don't release the second baby, we're gonna kill everybody here." And it's like, "Well, what if we get it back?" He's like, "Well, somebody still has to die on your side." Only to come out, they were bluffing the entire time. Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, big boy? You don't
I
have
mean,
any
they're big
magical
boys.
powers. Like,
You
you're
can crush
just
someone,
talking
probably.
shit.
That's
Like,
true. It's very true.
you know what I'm saying? Like, Mickey 18 didn't have to die. You know what I'm saying? Like, he went dying thinking he was sacrificing himself, and it was for nothing. It
What?
was literally for
What are you
nothing.
talking about?
I think the deal was still held up.
Really? What are these
Mickey
first
18
things
didn't
gonna do?
Mickey 18 killed him, like sacrificed himself so 17 can survive.
No, but that was the thing. He had Commander in his sight, and he was kicking his ass. He didn't have to explode anymore. He literally could have just
Yeah,
killed
but
him.
he had the bomb on his wrist.
I know, but he literally could have killed him and just removed the like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he
Yeah,
knocked
but
out
there was
Mark
a
Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo was knocked out. All you had to do was keep punching until he died. Like, they were
he
already
wasn't
gonna
knocked
subpoena
out.
the lady.
He
Yeah,
wasn't
he
Like,
knocked
yeah,
wasn't
he was
out.
knocked
punching
out.
him. He's
He
punching
wasn't
him. He's
knocked
punching
out.
him. was punching him.
But he wasn't knocked out.
Like
Remember,
he
he
had a
was
knife.
like,
He had a
come look.
gun.
He was
Tra.
like,
No one had a gun.
They
yeah,
gave him two
that's not.
weapons. Remember, they gave him two weapons, and they said kill me, or they at least gave him a knife. Remember, they were like,
Yeah, they
give
gave
me
him
as much
this
tails as you can.
machete.
Like I'm just saying, he could have killed him. He had him in his sight. You could have choked him out. You know, I'm just saying he didn't need to push the button. He would have been fine. He pushed the button under the premise that is like one of you have to die, and it turned out that none of them had to die because these people were bluffing about their powers that they didn't have. Like
I mean, one of
Yeah, but
they still wanted
that's
someone to die.
that's
Not
why it's a bluff. They didn't know it was not real.
I know, but it's just but
they
they're all
still
like
wanted
lovey-dovey
one
and friends at
person,
the end.
one
Like
human to die. It didn't
Yeah,
have
but
to be. It could have been any person, but they got two
yeah,
people instead.
yeah, I know. But if they didn't, like what I'm saying is like Mickey went thinking, believing that like, oh, I'll let you live, so I'll sacrifice me. But he didn't have to.
he
Like
didn't
his,
know that.
I know that's what I'm saying. No, I'm saying we know that as
Nobody knew
audience,
that.
but we know that as
Yeah,
audience, which cheapens the sacrifice. Like he died thinking he did something, but as audience members, we know it's like, well, you didn't really do anything. Now you as a character think you did this valiant thing when in reality you really didn't because you didn't need to. It makes it cheap. It makes it just not pay off. Mickey 18, R.I.P. He didn't do much. He just kind of died for the simple fact that they only want, like the writers only needed Mickey 17 at the end. They weren't going to keep two. You know, it's just a loose end that they put in there. They didn't need to. Just felt cheap, like cheap bastards. You could have gave them some powers, or, you know. You could have just made a little bit more validity. I don't know. I think we're all in agreement. Mark Ruffalo needed to die. I think that was fine. I think the lady needed to die. I think Chinese guy needed to die. I don't like the
guy.
fact that he didn't die. Did he
I don't
die?
think I don't think it's Chinese. I
Yeah,
don't think it's Chinese.
No, he survived, right?
Stephen Yun. Yeah, he
Even
survived.
young?
Even like the mob
Even
boss
the
guy,
mob boss attack. That's bullshit. That guy needed to die.
he did.
That guy definitely needed to die, and he didn't die. I was upset that he didn't die, and I wanted to be like a funny death. I wanted his death to be like something funny. That was a big fu. Um, the scientist needed to die. He didn't die. The main scientist, the guy who's the main asshole, he needed to die. And you know, the lady, the girl with the glasses scientist needed to be promoted, which she was. So that's good. That was a happy ending there.
So you're on the creeper side then. Kill everyone.
I'm on the creeper side. Yeah, dude, kill everybody. They don't know how they can't because they're docile animals. Of course, they don't know
They
that.
can roll. Maybe they roll over people.
I did like the fact
And
that
the
they
big
had
one is
like
pretty big. So
a mirage of like defense. That was pretty cool. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like they just like I didn't know what they were doing when they first got together. I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh, this makes sense though. That's pretty cool. But it just seems to be one mother or one prime amongst just a shit ton of just like creatures. Which, by the way, I think there would be applications to the copy machine that wouldn't necessarily be humans for survival. Like if you've like you know a white horn rhino is extinct, let's make copies of that. So it's not like one in the world. Let's make a copy of the rhino, right? If we found like an edible source, an edible animal, and we don't know if there's gonna be more, let's print that animal so we have meat or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like
meat?
there,
Did you say meat?
or like if they found like an equivalent of a cow on this planet, but they don't know how many there actually are. I was like, what if this is the only one? So you print that cow on the foreign planet, and then you have a sustainable source of food. Like there are applicable things that you could do with this copier that doesn't involve humans. So I wouldn't necessarily be like explode it. I'm like, no, just don't copy humans. But you could use this in very very cool forms when you really think about it, and different applications for survival. So don't blow it up. Maybe use it in a more way that will help you as opposed to like a human dying constantly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
have you seen Bong Joon-ho's other movie, Okja? It's on Netflix, I believe.
no, not yet.
It's about have
The
you seen it, Charlie?
hippo? No.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
like
this
yeah.
super pig hippo thing, which has like the meat of every animal, and it's like, oh, this thing can feed thousands of millions of people. You just need one of these instead of like a farm of like a bunch of pigs, and it's like energy efficient. I feel like
Okay.
that is kind of like a similar moral thing. It's like, oh yeah, we make this super animal and then we can just kill it and it's fine. It doesn't
And
have
it's fine.
feelings or whatever. And like that whole movie is about like saving the animals and stuff. I don't know. I feel like it was like a similar kind of deal.
No, yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I gotta watch this movie. This is like the third time you reference this movie. I gotta watch this movie. Um, yeah, I just meant like I just felt like on Earth we're low on stuff. I'm like, but you have a printing machine that apparently, if it's sophisticated to print humans, pretty sure you could print other shit. So like, why wouldn't you just print the limited supplies that you have, and then you have supplies? I don't know. Like, it seems
I
that
don't know
much.
if that would have saved Earth. It seemed like Earth was pretty screwed already
I don't know. I don't know what the
with
actual
like
cause of the
storm,
Earth
like whatever
was.
the
Yeah,
dust
I don't know
storm or
what it
whatever was
was,
going
but I
on.
was just like, all right, whatever, cool. Just felt like I felt like if you have this type of technology, you probably wouldn't want to leave the Earth if you have this. If you're this far in advance, I feel like we could solve a lot of the problems. Like, imagine a
People
3D, like
Eddie,
an actual
people want to
printer.
leave Earth now, and we don't
That's
have
true.
the technology. So
But if we had
people,
the technology,
it's
you know what
like,
I'm
why don't we
saying?
just go to another planet and make our
And ruin
own?
that planet. Yeah, and
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
let's just go ruin that planet. Um, yeah, I mean, just I don't know. I don't know what was the cause of the Earth being so shitty, but if it was food, I was like, well,
Global
it's
warming.
kind of the answers right there. Was it global warming?
No, I have no idea. I think it
Yeah,
was
they
Oh,
don't
just
really say, but like
I think
all
it
we
was
know
just
is like
assumed that it was like shitty.
because like they're like the storm warning, whatever that's weird storm was at the beginning of the movie. But yeah, they didn't
dust
really
bowls, I assume.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, but anyway, in a foreign planet, when you're still exploring. Um, use a printer for like printing shit. I'm just saying, like, you don't need to. Like, I don't think it's wise for you to blow it up, but I'm not the judge, right? Nasha is the judge, and she's like, "Let's blow it up because we don't need it anymore." I was like, I don't know if that was the best course of action, but all
Let's
right,
blow it up.
you're the person in charge.
I don't think blowing it up was the right.
Also, their spring is still very cold. It said spring, and I was like, how do they know it's spring in this planet?
well, I think the snow melted.
Yeah, I just meant like it's funny because it could be just like it could be summer for all they know. Like, this is as hot as this planet gets. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are screwed. uh um yeah, I don't know. What well wild movie. Like
Hmm.
7 different like subplots in this movie. I don't it's wild.
Probably wrap it up.
Yeah, any last thoughts? Would you guys be an expendable?
Like a part of a team of old actors that go and fight people.
Would
Hell yeah.
you guys sign up for this job?
With a little bit more respect, I would. Like, treat me with some dignity, and I'm down. They'll treat me like trash. Like, tell me what I'm gonna do. Don't like, hey, we need you to fix something outside of the ship. Ha, psych. We just want to see how you react to like solar winds. Like, just tell me. Go out there. We're gonna record, how you react to solar winds. I'm gonna die either way. Like, this is my job. I can't say no. You know what I mean? Like, just tell me up front what's going on. Just don't like put a face on it or something. But I'd be down. I think I
Chris.
I think I still be like him though, where he's like, I'm still scared to die. But I would.
Um, is it what is the options? Get like chopped up by the mob or go to space?
No, the options is would you be an expendable?
Would you do
No,
Would
it
you
or not
sign up
out
for
of
this
your free
no,
job?
volition?
definitely not.
Crazy. That's crazy, Chris. You can live forever.
You don't live
Um,
here forever. Again,
Yeah, your prime is gone.
I mean, I guess you could keep a diary and just like,
well,
put
that's
down
the
your,
memories.
put down your thoughts. Yeah, but your own personal diary.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Um,
What about you,
okay.
Charlie?
Would I? I think I'm on the same boat as you, where it's like if I get steak and lobster every day and have the best like accommodations, yeah, sure, why not?
I don't think they're gonna give you those accommodations. I'm asking for like just basic respect, and you're over here like, I need caviar and lobster.
Yeah.
I
I need a
do.
caviar pizza.
Yes. I mean that would be my requirement to do it.
You want to live like you're on death row every day when you give like your last meal every single
I'm
time.
just saying, I feel
I
like
mean,
the
it seems like a waste
person
of a good meal to me,
I feel like the
Yeah.
person pushing civilization forward should be probably, worshipped, not treated like dirt. I'm just saying. To go out there and breathe in the atmosphere of this planet. It's like, no, no.
It's
You
like
go
no.
out there. Oh, you would actually die. Okay. Can I get a steak, please? Oh, you don't want to go out there because you would actually die and then you wouldn't come back? Okay. Yeah. You see where we are right now? It's called negotiations. Um, yeah, I mean, I feel like it'd be kind of cool. Kind of cool. Just a little bit. I just be curious. I just want to be printed like once.
See, you want to be Charlie number one.
Forever. Um, yeah, we'll see. Oh well. Chris, how about you give us your rating? Would you go see it? Should people go see this in theaters? And should we see a Mickey 18? Mickey 19?
I would give this 3.5 sauces out of 5. Gotta love the tail sauce. It tastes great with nothing, I guess. Um, and I saw it in Stobie. I don't know, like nothing too exciting theater wise. Like some of the, I don't know. I feel like you don't really need to see in theaters, honestly. And the sequel probably wouldn't even make sense just because the machine is gone. Unless it's like, oh, we're on this planet now. What are we doing? But I will say, if you like the clone premise of this movie, you should watch Moon from the movie Moon from 2009, I believe.
Mm.
It's like a similar like clone thing. It's like a guy alone on a like a space station or a satellite, and he finds out that they're just like instead of sending him home, they just clone him over and over. So not, I think more serious than this movie, but still very good.
Is that the one where the moon falls down into the earth?
No, that's Moonfall.
No.
Best
What's
movie ever made.
how many clones are in that movie?
Like
The
two.
aliens. The aliens are the clones.
Weren't the aliens like AI or something?
Yeah, the AI. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, not Moonfall. Moonfall was bad.
All right. Chris, I think I'm with you. I think I'm gonna give this 3.5 subpoenas out of 5. and I think I think I'm with you, and you can wait on this one. I don't think there's anything like Chris said. There's nothing at the theater that would necessarily entice anyone to go to the movies. But it's entertaining enough that if you did go, I wouldn't I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad at you. You know, maybe just do standard. You don't need IMAX. You don't need Dolby. Especially if you have the AMC pass or like the Regal pass or any other pass. It's good enough to use a movie on. Chris, you said there's the printer's blown up. Um, that's obviously true. I don't know if there would be a Mickey 18 and a half or anything like that. I think if I just don't think a sequel would make sense in any way, shape, or form. Like you can't even force like a funny sequel like with Fast and the Furious or anything like that. Um, so yeah. What about you, Eddie?
I give this 3 out of 5 threesomes, 3 people in the orgy that's happening with myself. Um, yeah, again, the performances in this were pretty good, in my opinion. Story wasn't, it was just everywhere.
Eddie, your mic is something's going on with your mic. It's all scratchy.
Is that better?
Yeah.
That better?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
better.
it's better.
Was it scratchy from the beginning?
Pretty much from when you started
Okay.
your
Okay.
ratings.
I give this 3 out of 5 threesomes, or three three people out of 5 of the orgies that's happening with myself. Um, again, I think there was good performances by everybody involved in this movie. I just think the writing was just everywhere. I think there's a good story here. I just don't think it was pieced together the best way. Um, I feel like there is a version out there that we just didn't see, um, that might make the ending more well rounded. Um, but I'm not sure. Um, but I like the character Mickey itself and what they were trying to do. Everything else around it just wasn't enough, but it's not enough for me to completely dismiss the movie. I also wouldn't recommend you going watch it in a movie theater. I think just kind of wait for it to stream, do a movie night. You'll enjoy this movie. I think you'll be fine. Um, but yeah, I don't not really hope for a sequel. If there is a sequel, I think it would have to go the other way around, as opposed to more Mickeys. The sequel would have to do with Mickey Prime, where somehow he's still alive, like he's tapped into something in Earth, where that's where they're getting the clone, and he has to be alive in order for more clones to happen, or something like that. Or they need his juice or something, and it turns out Mickey Prime is still alive somewhere on Earth, and
They
like,
need his juice.
yeah, and he needs to go kill the copy of Mickey for some stupid reason or something like that. But I don't think it'd be more. I think it'd have to go back and, do something with that.
One more thought. Did anyone think that when they exploded the machine that one of the parts would kill Mickey 17?
I thought something was like that was gonna happen. I thought somebody was gonna
I thought
die
for
or something.
sure someone was gonna die from that. It's like a dark comedy ending, you know.
I did not think that at all. I didn't have that thought. That'd be funny though. That'd be a horrible way to end the movie. Um, but speaking of endings, this is ours. And if there's any scenarios we didn't cover, or if you have thoughts on what it would be like to be an expendable on this space trip, let us know. Email us at straight2pod@gmail.com. Follow us on X, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, and Twitch. Straight to POD. That concludes this week's episode. I'm Charlie.
I'm Chris.
And now I'm Eddie.
Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.